Where have I left you, poor Euryalus? Where can I search for you, and how unravel my tangled path through that deceptive forest? With this he tracks and traces back his footsteps, and threads his way through silent thickets, until he hears hoofbeats and trampled brush and signals of chase, and not long after, an outcry, and sees Euryalus, whom now, betrayed by night in the terrain, bewildered by sudden tumult, all the troop are hauling away, as overpowered he thrashes, hopeless. But what can Nisus do? What can he use, what force or arms to dare his comrades' rescue? Or should he rush to his sure end among those troops, and hurry with his wounds a seemly death? Quickly then he draws his arm far back. As he prepares his shaft, he gazes at the steep moon, prays, "You, goddess, guardian of groves, and glory of the stars, O you, Latona's daughter, now be with us, help this labor. For if you were ever honored by Hyrtacus, my father, when he brought before your altar gifts on my behalf, if I have ever added offerings to you from my own hunting, hanging trophies beneath your dome, or nailing them upon your gabled roof, then let me rout this troop. You guide my spearhead through the air." He spoke, then, straining all his body, hurled his steel. Across the shadows of the night it flies, then strikes the facing back of Sulmo. There it snaps, and splintered passes through his midriff. As Sulmo tumbles over in chill death, he vomits out a warm stream from his chest. His long-drawn gasps heave, heard against his ribs. The Latins look around at every angle. While they still tremble, Nisus, even fiercer, now poises a new shaft at his ear-tip. The hissing spear drives straight through both the temples of Tagus. Warm, it stuck in his pierced brain. Though Volscens rages, crazed, he cannot see whoever was the sender of that shaft, or where he can attack in frenzy. "Yet until we find him, you shall pay," he cried, "the penalties of both with your warm blood." He rushed with drawn sword at Euryalus. Then, mad with terror, Nisus cries aloud. He could not hide in darkness any more, or stand so great a grief. "I did it, I! Your steel, Rutulians, is meant for me. The crime is mine. He has not dared anything, nor could he. Heaven be my witness, and the knowing stars. He only loved too well his luckless friend." So was he pleading, when the sword, thrust home with force, pierced through the ribs and broke the white breast of Euryalus. He tumbles into death. The blood flows down his handsome limbs. His neck, collapsing, leans against his shoulder, even as a purple flower, severed by the plough, falls slack in death. Or poppies, as with weary necks, they bow their heads when weighted down by sudden rain. But Nisus rushes on among them all. He is seeking only Volscens. Only Volscens can be the man he wants. The enemy crowd him. On every side their ranks would drive him back, but Nisus presses on unchecked, whirling his lightning sword until he plunged it full into the Latin's howling mouth, and dying, took away his foeman's life. Then, pierced, he cast himself upon his lifeless friend. There, at last, he found his rest in death. Fortunate pair! If there be any power within my poetry, no day shall ever erase you from the memory of time, not while Aeneas's children live beside the Capitol's unchanging rock, nor while a Roman father still holds sovereignty. The Latin victors, taking spoils and plunder and weeping, carried lifeless Volscens back to camp. But there the wailing was no less when they found Romney's dead, together with so many other chieftains butchered in one slaughter. Here Seranus, Numa here. Around the bodies of the dead and dying a mighty crowd has gathered, and the ground is warm with recent killings, channels run with foaming blood. They recognize the spoils, the gleaming helmet of Messapus, all his gear that was regained with so much sweat. Now early dawn had left Tithonus' saffron bed, scattering new light upon the earth. Now sun rays streamed, now day made plain all things. Turnus, himself in arms, calls up his men to war. Each Latin captain spurs his bronze-clad company to battle. Each one stirs their anger with a different tale of horror. They even fasten on uplifted pikes, a miserable sight, the heads of Nisus and of Euryalus, and march behind them with ringing shouts. Aeneas' sturdy sons line up against them, ranged along the left side walls. The river keeps their right. They man the massive trenches, and they stand in sadness on their high towers. How much more sad when they can suddenly make out, impaled, held high, the heads of men known much too well by their unhappy comrades, heads that drip black gore.